We are in Johannesburg, South Africa, with Super-Grandmaster Levon Aronian. First of all, welcome to South Africa and welcome to Africa. How has your experience of the country been so far and of the South African Junior Chess Championship?
Oh, at first I have to say, it's a great honor to be here with so many players playing. It's a great pleasure to see that our game has such popularity in South Africa. 2,300 players. That's a lot. That's more than maybe even the amount of players in my country, which is unique.
And with regards to their strength, do you think it matches the strength of other international countries, or there is a lot of work to do? Or
I think, yeah. So far, as I understand, because of the lack of tournaments in the African continent, especially the south of Africa, you don't get the practice. You don't get enough tournaments to develop the levels of the players, and you don't get strong players or role models. So,
how does the local chess youth look to it? Do you think, given the right conditions and in the right context, they will be able to perform internationally?
Well, if there is opportunity, because, for example, when I was growing up in the 90s, my country was, my country is still in a difficult economical situation, but back then in the 90s it was much worse than here. But we had enthusiasm from different sponsors. They somehow supported the players and gave a chance to us to become.
Take for South Africa to do the same?
I think you need some enthusiasts that love chess and have the financial capability to do that. Yeah,
of course. And how was your experience of the past few days in South Africa? You played a double tournament.
Yeah.
You went to the park to play with some local hustler and local chess players. And you've also done a bit of touring of the city of Johannesburg, and you will soon go to Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, and other locations of South Africa. How's it been so far?
Oh, it was very interesting. Playing in the park, I actually even lost the game because closer to the end I got a little bit tired, so I blundered. But generally I saw that in the park there are many worthy opponents I could see, and the mood generally was very nice. The music, and I mean, if this what South African hustlers look like, then they're much better than hustlers in my country.
And instead, the doubles tournament was a bit too easy for you.
Yeah. The thing is, I have such a big experience in Bughouse, and I can proudly say that I taught many of the top players of chess.
Can we safely say that you're the strongest player in the world in Bughouse, or will someone get offended?
Maybe some of my friends will get offended that I play with and I beat regularly, but I am definitely up there, one of the best Bughouse players.
Can you share with us some tips on how to play Bughouse? You were giving me some theory and explaining.
You need to
rules.
know the patterns in the game, generally. So you need to understand how to develop pieces, because people think it's all very different from chess. But there are many common things that you have in the game of Bughouse that are similar to the game of chess. For example, every move preferably has to be both attacking and defending. And if the king is surrounded with too many of his own pieces, it's not a very good sign, because the king will suffocate. So sometimes you need to push the pieces.
You were saying something interesting that, regarding knights, the opponent's knight to defend.
Yeah. In many times when your opponent attacks you and takes one of your pawns to the knight, for example, you castled and somebody takes knight takes you2, you never capture that knight, because that knight is protecting you while he's there, because no pawn can drop there.
And how was it playing with your wife against local players? So was it fun? Do you often do it?
We love playing every kind of game, partnering with my wife, because we love being a team generally in every sport.
Okay.
But
And yesterday you also had a similar dress code and makeup. and
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a lot of fun yesterday. If only the level was a little bit higher, so we could have some competition. Otherwise, when you don't have a strong competition, you kind of relax and start making silly mistakes,
Of course.
and you
Yeah.
don't feel good about that.
Maybe you should share some of that knowledge, including some tips about how to play chess to the local chess players you're going to see later. What are you
Yeah.
going to speak to them about? You're going to have a masterclass with them?
Yeah, it's going to be a master class mostly with coaches, because I think the coaches are the core. Because, for example, in my country, when we were growing up, we had an influx of great coaches from Baku, from Azerbaijan, that were refugees of war. So, and when they came to my country, we immediately got the school, a completely different style. So, for example, this same thing happened in India. If you look at their current results, it's mainly thanks, I think, to guys like Sakis or Vladimirov, the Soviet school, which went there and taught the coaches that these are the basics you should focus on. How to teach them in the start. Because when the kid is very small, he can learn things easily. And this is his basis. If you teach him, if you show some intensity when he's little, like I guess in music, he will be used to this tempo. And he will develop into a good player.
Is it something important for, again, developing players and a country with developing players to dedicate the right amount of finances, of course, but also time to the development of a youth chess player? That's kind of a gamble, isn't it?
It is a gamble, but so there is a certain, correlation. The richer the country is, the less chess players it produces. I mean, when it comes to the United States, right now you have the interest, mainly thanks to Rex Sinkfeld and Jeannie Sinkfeld, because they support chess, and you can earn a living with chess. But before that, you could only have grandmasters from foreign countries being exported into the system. Now you have your homegrown players.
Sure.
So this is what is, of course, if a country is very poor, there is more likely to grandmasters to come, because it's a social lift. So I think South Africa can produce good players, because it's not that rich at that moment.
Okay,
So-
and are you looking forward to the simul you're going to play tomorrow, I think, right?
Yeah, because you see, every time I'm playing a simul, people say, "Oh, this guy's good, this guy's bad," and this. So pay attention to this one. But I actually don't like that. I like the randomness, and I like the fact that I have to put up an effort. So that's what I really like effort.
You're also accepting a big challenge because you are opening the simul to anyone who wants to play without a rating limit.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're going to see some interesting games on the board.
Yeah, we're speaking about that with Daniel Kadri yesterday. I told
Is
him,
he
come.
going to play?
I said, come join. But he said, with so many students of his watching, he has nothing to win there, obviously.
Of course.
It won't be
Okay,
a good
hopefully we'll
idea.
get a couple of maybe 2400.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Changing topic, I just wanted to ask you what you think about the past year 2019 and the tournaments you played. Possibly also the good aspects and the good results, but at the same time a couple of missed opportunities. And what are you looking forward to in 2020?
Well, my goal for 2019 was qualifying to the candidates. I failed. I cannot say I was too far. I had the chance in the World Cup. I had the chance in the Grand Swiss. I missed out on those chances. But it was more or less a learning year, as I take it. I'm not happy with my results. I think 2018 and 2019 were not good years for me, for my chess. But in some sense, they were learning years.
And you also had to deal with some health problems. You had
Yeah.
to withdraw from Jerusalem. Grand
Yeah. But this is something that reoccurs. I mean, I do have.
How are things looking now? Are you ready for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
comeback?
No, I'm. This is generally chess. Everything I have in my life is thanks to chess, and it's the core point of my life and the purpose of my life. So at
Okay.
this moment, so I want to.
What is the goal now? The next candidates tournament?
I want to, play good chess and things that I've learned in these 2 years that were unsuccessful. I want to kind of improve on, and I do believe that if you're given a talent, which I believe I have, you have to try to fulfill your potential. It's not really something that you are given just like that to enjoy it. It's something that you have to.
Yeah. But we're going
Develop.
to see an Aronian Carlsen World Championship match.
I hope so.
Okay. And who do you think is going to play the next World Championship match? Who do you think is going to win the candidates?
There are two very diligent and brilliant guys at the moment. It's Fabiano and Liren, and they work very hard and have similar characteristics for me. I think Fabiano will. If the tournament starts well for him, then he'll have a big advantage. He'll have a good chance. But you can also, you cannot disregard other players like Nepomniachtchi, Grishuk. After all, the tournament takes place in Russia, so it's an advantage. Yeah.
Of course. And is the next world champion one of them for you, or is it someone younger that is still going to grow and make it into next candidates and future world championship matches?
I believe at this moment we have some real talents, like Alireza Firuza is very talented, and they're very young. Also, some
And they perform
other
very
players.
well, for example, in the Rapids.
Yeah, that's already a good sign. Yeah, but it will take some time, I think, because you're still finding
so
your
Magnus
place.
is going to be the strongest player in the world and the world champion for quite some time still.
Hopefully not, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Moving away from chess, you've seen a lot of, or a few photos of you with guitars, and you've written a few posts on Twitter about music. Other than a big music fan, I assume, are we also going to see you on stage sometime? Or
No, unfortunately, when I was growing up, I had to choose between music and chess, and I chose chess. But I still have this kind of feeling that I really want, to be part of the music. But now I'm a listener, and a big listener. I think I spend a lot of time listening to music and trying to understand the subtleties, mostly in classical music.
will you take some of the local music with you?
Oh,
from
I
South
know.
Africa?
I know music from South Africa a little bit. I know Miriam Makeba, a classical singer. She's not classical, but classical South African singer.
Sure.
Yeah. I know a jazz musician from here, Dollar Brand.
Okay. Maybe Huma Sekela.
I know him as well. And I know some music from townships.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
but these are mostly gospel type of music, which I enjoy. Enjoy a lot. Yeah.
Okay. That's about it. I hope you will have a great stay here. And
Thank you very
good luck
much.
for the Simo, and good luck for everything in South Africa and future endeavors.
Looking
Thank you.
forward to all of that.